I actually think it's more masculine, if you want to, use that word, to show your love and to put your heart in your sleeve and be like, hey, I'm going to look and care for this person and I love this person. And by the way, right, anyone listen, okay? People might look at Max and think he's, this fun, goofy guy. No, I've seen hot ass chicks fawning over Max in Vegas, Miami. I'm telling you, and even you probably realize now from this podcast, dude's a savage businessman. So you're not, you're no pussy. You're a masculine dude. So, to hear you say that, I think it's a good thing. And you had a Fresh and Fit on your podcast, right? Yeah. What was that like? I watched it, but I can't remember too well.
It was good. I mean, I think that they bring up a lot of valid points.
Yeah, I agree with most of what they say.
Yeah, I think I think it's a lot of it's for content a little bit, but they deliver it in a very extreme, aggressive way, and I think there's different ways to deliver the type of concept you're trying to put out in the world to just make people maybe realize different views on certain situations that do make sense if you logically look at it without maybe emotions attached to it of just like initial like anger, right? But I understand that the way they delivered of like,
shock
women are hoes, men are everything, women need men. Like, I was like, yeah, okay, that maybe not be the best delivery mechanism, right? So I think it was important for me to have them on because I feel like if they only interview people that fully agree with them, they're going to be in this echo chamber forever. And I think, although controversial, and a lot of people gave me shit for having them on, I was like, I disagree with a lot of things that they say, and I think it's important for people like myself to interview these people and, be like, hey, I understand what you're saying, I respect it, I disagree with it, and here's why. Or to push back of like, why do you feel this strongly about this thing? And here's someone that like myself, because again, I consider myself a high value man, a top 1% of people, and I think there's good and bad about this whole manosphere thing, but I think the bad that comes out of it, because I think the good is that it's pushing men to become the best versions of themselves.
Yes.
To level themselves up because of this social, what do they call it? The
red pill.
The marketplace.
So social SMV, sexual marketplace value. Or
something like that, right? Yeah. So I think there is good in all of this stuff because it's leveling me up. And, there's always going to be outliers. But I think the bad thing is that it's making this thing of like, men should fear women. Men should think that all women are bad. Men should think that all women are out to get them.
Yeah.
And if you are a high value man, then the only reason that any girl is going to like you is because of your status.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no shit, a girl's gonna like you more if you're a successful guy. I would like a successful guy. It's like I think that's the dumbest concept of like, this girl only likes you because you're successful.
And
I'm like, well, I'm only in this situation because of everything that I've done to get to here. So I would have never met. It's a complex thing, but I think it should be embraced that men can that can have soft spots, that don't have to be this hard alpha all the time, that can, I lay and talk in little goofy voices with Taylor, and, I'm texting like emojis and like 4 Ys on my haze and stuff, and, the freshman guy's like, I would never do that, dude, that's a sit mode. I'm like, if you were a fly on the wall hearing me and Taylor talk, you'd be like, you guys are so fucking lame.
No, Linda.
Like we have accents, we talk with each other.
I think most couples are the same. No, we have our own language.
Yeah.
It's a mixture between Irish and like, I don't know what the other language is. Yeah. It's none of it makes sense.
But in my mind, I'm like, that's real.
Yeah,
like that's real. And I think
like sometimes I just call Linda Noreen.
Yeah, there's all these things, and like, people are so against like Andrew Tate and all this stuff. But I was like, bro, if every man was the exact same like hardcore mindset of Andrew Tate, I was like, that'd be a weird world.
Yeah. I like Andrew Tate, to be honest.
Me too, and I think a lot of it, he brought a lot of good into this world. And there's a lot of things that, again, are very extreme, but I think are for shock value.
Yeah, and a lot of guys take it way too far, and they just make it their identity.
Yes.
Really. It's like they take it further than also like the Tates and the Fresh and Fits themselves.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's like, if you are a guy that goes to places like Miami and goes to clubs and goes after these specific types of girls, yeah, you're probably going to have this specific view towards women because you're in these environments. But for the people like myself, I was like, I think I'm a good-looking dude, very successful, top 1%, and I think you can have a very healthy relationship and not be in fear that, she's talking to 12 other dudes. So it was like, and you just have to, understand and I'm not saying be with women, like sleep with a bunch of women, but like you have to experience the world to know what values you align with and what attributes about women that you like and dislike, so that when you meet a girl, you can very quickly realize that she's for you or not.